All right, everybody. You know when we do Lord of the Rings videos, I always show off my Lord of the Rings tattoo. I don't know why I show it off, but I do. Because, all I've noticed is, ever since I've had this tattoo, much like the One Ring used to turn Frodo invisible, this tattoo has done nothing but turn me invisible to every hot chick on the planet. So I don't know why I'm so happy to show it off, because it's just been a curse. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart and The Lonesome Crown, all published by Simon & Schuster Saga Press. Today, this video is going to be about my Lord of the Rings book collection, because I got a lot of Lord of the Rings books, and we're going to be showing them to you here. And some of these copies I got are dynamite. I mean, I got some copies of Lord of the Rings that are just full of nostalgia. All sorts of stuff for me. But how did I get interested in Lord of the Rings to begin with? Well, I was just a little kid, and I had read The Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks. It was the first ever book, fantasy book, or book of any kind that I'd read for enjoyment in my entire life. Maybe you remember the book cover for The Sword of Shannara, right? This cover was painted by the brothers Hildebrandt. This is an art book by the brothers Hildebrandt. They painted all the Shannara stuff, and back in the 70s and 80s, they were the guys that painted all of the J.R.R. Tolkien stuff. I mean, they did the 1978 J.R.R. Tolkien calendar. They did the 1977 J.R.R. Tolkien calendar. I mean, these guys did some great Tolkien paintings. Like here's one of the Grey Havens. Here's one of Gandalf returning in as the Wizard in White. Here's a great one of Gollum. They just did some magnificent paintings. The Balrog and Gandalf. Oh, man, just great paintings. So here's one of Smaug. I could go on and on. One of Smaug. I could go on and on with the Hildebrandt paintings. But what happened was, The Sword of Shannara was the first and only book I'd read, and it was a fantasy. And I was like, man, fantasy's dope. I got to get me some more fantasy. The only other fantasy I knew of other than The Sword of Shannara was The Lord of the Rings. And I only knew about The Lord of the Rings because of the Hildebrandt paintings. So then one day, but I lived in Sevier County, Utah, guys. I mean, Sevier County, Utah is in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of the Utah desert. There's nothing. I mean, there's no bookstores. There's nothing. How was I going to get the Lord of the Rings? Well, one day I just happened to go into the local Safeway grocery store there in Richfield, Utah, and lo and behold, they had a little paperback book rack in there, and lo and behold, they had in that paperback book rack these 4 books. And I bought them. They're $3.95 a piece. The price is still on them. $3.95 a piece. I remember going up to the cash register with my cash with these 4 books, and the old lady, the crabby old Sevier County lady that's scanning the groceries, she scans one book with disgust, scans the other book with disgust, looking at the covers, it's almost like she's looking at devil worship stuff or something. And then she scans the last one, and she's like, I don't know why your mother would let you spend $16 on books like these, or any kind of book. It's just a waste of time. And I was like, man, if that's the attitude of the people in Sevier County, Utah, that makes me want to read these things even all the more. And so I was like, I'm gonna just for spite out of that lady, I'm gonna read the fuck out of these things, and I'm gonna enjoy them just to piss that old bitch off, right? So these are the exact books that I bought back in the day. I read these things when I was a kid 10 times. I read each one of them 10 times. But look at they still look brand new. They still look at the same condition as the day I bought them. I mean, I take care of my books, people. I take care of them. I love my books. I mean, I don't crack the spines. I don't use a sandwich as a bookmark. I don't do goofy crap like that because I'm not an animal. We're not animals, people. We take care of our books. So let's look at my book collection, and I will show you here all of the Lord of the Rings books that I have. And then we will go through the collection one at a time, and you can see how dope they are, okay? Let's look at this. So this is my Lord of the Rings book collection right here. You can see all of the different versions I have. I even have some down on this other shelf. So we'll go through them. These are the ones that I just showed you. So we'll go through all of those one at a time, and you can decide which kind that you like the best. And if you'll notice, it's not just books and art books that I collect. I got the Gandalf sword over here. That's the Aragorn sword, the Gandalf sword. I still need to get me a sting dagger, like the Frodo sting dagger. So I already showed you this version, the original ones that I bought when I was a kid. Now, the second version I bought was when I was a little older, and this version came out in the late 80s, maybe early 90s. I can't remember exactly when, maybe like 89 it came out. And I bought this just so I could have like a nice leather-bound copy of the book. And this is great. I mean, this has just got, I love the way that it's set up inside. It's got some great maps at the back of it. It's just a nice, solid leather-bound edition of the book. And then I bought these versions right here. These came out, I think, in the late 90s, and they've got these great Alan Lee covers. And if you know who Alan Lee is, he was actually one of the actual production designers on the Lord of the Rings movies with Peter Jackson. So I always really liked this version too of the paper, of these mass market paper. These are trade paperbacks. I like these because I love the Alan Lee covers. And then I bought, sorry, I'm taking these off the shelf over here. And then I bought this one here. So then I got into the Silmarillion. So I bought the Silmarillion, right? And then I bought this version of the Silmarillion. So this is a hardcover of the Silmarillion. This is a paperback version of the Silmarillion. The reason I've got this paperback version of the Silmarillion is because my good friend, Mike Dringenberg, actually did the illustration on that. And if you don't know who Mike Dringenberg is, he was one of the original artists on Neil Gaiman's The Sandman series. And he lives here in Salt Lake City, and so I've become friends with him. One of the next versions I bought was the, well, of course I don't have a lot of the history, because there's a ton of the histories of Middle-earth, but the only histories of Middle-earth that I ever bought were these three. The Unfinished Tales, the Book of Lost Tales 1, and the Book of Lost Tales 2. Those are the only ones. I don't want to get into all of the, that's going to be in the way. I don't want to get into I don't want to start collecting a whole lot of the stuff like that, and even now I've started scattering books everywhere. Then these things started coming out, okay? Then these books started coming out. I think the Children of Hurin was the first one that came out. Of course, I went and got that in hardcover because it's dope. And then I think the next one that came out was Beren and Luthien, which I got. That was great. And then I got the Fall of Gondolin, all in hardcover. That's a great series. That's just another some more little extra histories of Middle-earth that are done real nicely there. Then my sister bought me, this is actually a gift from, no, not my sister, an ex-girlfriend, actually. An ex-girlfriend who used to work at the Barnes & Noble in Fort Union, Utah. She got me this nice collector's edition of The Hobbit, which is really cool, nice leather bound. She even signed it, Merry Christmas, Love, Jacqueline. Whenever I get a book from a friend as a gift, I always have them sign the book, just so I can remember who it was from. And that one was from Jacqueline, a girl I used to date a long time ago. Oh, we've got these nice little leather bound. So I got these just because they're cute. They're just cute. These nice, tiny little leather-bound editions of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. Little pocket-sized ones, you know, that you can carry in a little tiny pocket. I mean, because they're teeny. I mean, look at how teeny they are in comparison. I mean, they're tiny, little tiny books. Another one that I've got is I got this version about 10 years ago. This version of the Lord of the Rings with the cover paintings by John Jude Palencar. I love these cover paintings by John Jude Palencar. I love the design of these. These are so good. I love these. Just look at how cool they are. John Jude Palencar. If you don't know who that artist is, he was the one that did all of the Aragon Christopher Paolini covers. And he did a lot of Charles DeLint covers too. But those are great. I loved these. Probably some of my favorite covers. Although, my favorites will always be these original Darrell K. Sweet covers on the original books that I bought back when I was a kid. We'll go over those too. Those are the Darrell K. Sweet ones. Some of you might even have versions of these that you bought when you were a kid. Oh, I about fell over. Guys, you know, I live in a house with a flat floor and there's nothing in the way, but yet I still trip. Love those. Those are my favorites. I did get these books here because I thought another little copies of these just came out about a year ago. And I liked the simple graphic design of these. So I was like, well, I'm going to add those to my collection too, just because those are cool, just simple. They're elegant. I really like those. So then I got those. And then I think I got this about 10 years ago, the 50th anniversary. Another leatherbound. You know, I got this first leatherbound here, and now we've got another leatherbound. And this leatherbound is wicked cool, you know. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's the very same tattoo. I mean, I don't know if you can. I know all of you hot people, you hot women, you can't see this because I'm invisible to you. But, I mean, the rest of you could probably see that. But this is a really good version. I love this version. This was about $100 version. And I've never even cracked it open. I've never even opened it. I dare not open it. We'll keep it unopened. And then last year, I bought the coolest set of Lord of the Rings stuff you're ever going to see. And I'm going to show it to you right now. It's this boxed set from England. One of the English publishers did this boxed set. And again, it's got some of the Alan Lee paintings on it. If you remember, Alan Lee was the guy who worked on the Peter Jackson films. He was the guy that did these versions. And now he's done these fantastic versions that are in, oh my gosh, these things are crazy cool. I'll set them right here. These things are crazy cool, like the Return of the King. Look at that painting. Look at that. If I can get the glare off of it. You know, I cover all of my books in this plastic. These plastic slip things. The problem is it just makes, in the videos, it just makes the covers glare like a son of a bitch. But anyway, that's the nice, beautiful copies. And we'll pull them out one by one. Oh, shit. Ah, Lord. You know, I've got my entire Lord of the Rings collection stacked up here. And they're falling. Okay. So 2 towers. Had they fallen earlier, I would have just reshot the video. But we're 14 minutes into this video. I'm not reshooting it. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful additions. Beautiful additions. And then and they're just beautifully put together on the inside. And then just Got super duper cool maps and everything. And they come in this great box. So that is my J.R.R. Tolkien Lord of the Rings collection. I'm going to show you the mess that I made. That is the stack of books that just fell. So anyway, thank you for watching. That's my collection. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found some versions that you might like to go get. And we'll see you next time.